Hey, so today we're going to be looking at the Low-Light Innovations purple filter. So I think it's really interesting where we're at right now in the night vision industry. And what I mean by that is I just think it's really interesting that, we're kind of all coming up with new and creative solutions to meeting consumer needs. And especially with the advent of 3D printing, solutions like this have really taken off. And I think that's just really cool. As we know, white phosphor reduces eye fatigue or eye strain compared to green phosphor when we look through a night vision tube. I personally think that can be true, but it's sometimes overstated, and it really just comes down to the performance of the tube and the quality of the glass more than anything. But all things being equal, I do think white phosphor is preferable, but that doesn't necessarily mean that your green phosphor units are not good anymore. Like, they're actually quite fine. I've seen many green phosphor night vision devices that are fantastic. Anyways, long story short, this is basically a filter that you put on a PVS 14, or really any PVS 14 style anything that takes PVS 14 style optics, and it basically changes the green phosphor to more of a white phosphor. It doesn't actually change, the color of the phosphor. It's just kind of the light that's coming out of this eyepiece is just going to be going through this filter, which creates a more aesthetically pleasing hue. So basically, you just have to be careful. You could easily damage your unit. Basically, unscrew this eyepiece. And basically, I want to be careful not to, I like to just kind of go in the opposite direction first. Let's see if I can do this. I'm finding it right there. And then slowly just kind of screwing that in. Make sure you're not doing it right, and you can mess up the thread. So basically, now when you look through this, it's gonna have a different hue. And so I'm gonna show videos right now of what that looks like. I think it looks better in videos for some reason than it does in real life. I think that it absolutely does make looking through your green phosphor tubes a little bit easier on your eyes. However, it's hard to say how much of that is from the actual change in the color hue and how much is that from dimming the actual image that's coming out, because it does dim what you're seeing. If I had to put an approximate guess, I would say I don't know, 15% maybe, just depending on lighting conditions. Like, it's definitely noticeable, and that's something to consider. Now, these things retail for about 25 bucks. So for what it costs and kind of what you're able to do with it, I think that's pretty amazing, actually. That's really cool. However, don't expect miracles, but it gets fairly close. And it does dim it down a little bit. So overall, I think that this is really interesting. I think that if you have a green phosphor unit that you really like, and you don't feel like you don't want to spend money to buy a completely new setup, which I don't think you should, but you're interested in kind of playing around with what different hues could look like, and if you're particularly sensitive to eye strain, then I think that this is a really cool solution. And they're not crazy expensive like nearly everything else in a night vision game. So definitely worth checking out. I recommend them. So yeah, if you got any questions, just drop a comment down below. Thanks.